What's going on YouTube? OCD for EDC here. And I've got something I'm going to do. It's a little different than my normal videos. A little while ago, a couple weeks ago, I had one of my viewers send me a handful of knives to check out. And they're quite beautiful. So what I decided to do here, because I have multiples by the same designer, I'm going to show off the knives he sent from that designer, as well as the ones that I have from that designer. And the knives in question are going to be TwoSun, but more importantly, from Wong Design. So for anyone out there that's not familiar with Wong Design, I'm confident he must, well, let me preface this by saying if Mr. Wong is not Chinese and not from China, then I really apologize. However, TwoSun is a Chinese knife manufacturer, and I'm pretty confident this person's name is Wong Den Xin, and so I'm assuming that they're from China. However, the knives that Wong Design makes they're absolutely fantastic, and I have pretty big old paws on me for here in the States. So I can only assume that Mr. Wong has got massive, massive hands over in China. But I certainly appreciate the hell out of it because everything that he makes, we're going to put that in quotes, most of what he makes or designs fits my hands perfectly. So anyway, for those that are unfamiliar with TwoSun as a brand or Wong Design, rest assured that these are all original designs. These are all grade 5 titanium. The ones that are on bearings are running ceramic bearings. They have a ceramic detent ball. They all have a detent ball ramp, which you can see ground right in there. They all have hardened steel inserts. They have all the bells and whistles, tricks, all the stuff that makes a knife a beautiful thing. Most of them are flippers. Action on these guys is all stellar, and quality is spectacular. No sharp edges except for the one that you want to be sharp, and relatively thin behind the edge. Most of these are hovering between the 15 and 18 thousandths range. So this guy right here, I'm just going to go in numerical order. So this one here is the lowest number Wong Design knife that I currently have, and this is the Tucson TS-81. And what you're looking at here is titanium scales, bone inlay. You've got a titanium pocket clip. Again, bone inlay on the opposite side. I don't think I mentioned that all the inserts do have over travel stops as well. But just a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Really cool design. Beautifully done. This little area here is recessed and you got a different texture in there. Satins are beautiful. Just, you can't beat it. And you can get this knife for under $100. So, people, Christmas is coming. If you're looking to pick up a knife for a friend, family member, whatever, or just yourself, if you haven't tried one of these yet, you're into knives, you're crazy, because these things are absolutely stellar for the money. So I'll link a bunch of them in the description below if you want to pick up a TwoSun knife and support my channel. I really appreciate it. But anyway, let's move on. So Tucson TS-81. Oh, that one is in D2 blade steel. So right off the bat, we're getting into this here is a knife from one of my viewers. So this here is the Tucson TS89. And this is full titanium construction. And the anode job on this was done by the knife owner. This one happens to be, again, Wong Design. S90V blade steel. Just absolutely beautiful ergos. You got a little bit of jimping here, but it's very well done. Not sharp, not uncomfortable at all. Most of the time when a designer puts these choils in a knife, they never line up and fit with my hands, and this guy is just, it's perfect. I couldn't imagine a knife of this kind of shape fitting any better. The only thing that I have a complaint with Wong is doesn't do the best pocket clips. Most of them are a little bit difficult to get in the pocket. It's not horrible. So like this pocket clip right here sits down in this recessed channel, which you have on the show side. Let me show that off. So this is contoured titanium, and you have this recessed channel there, and it's repeated on the backside. Pocket clip sits right down in that channel, which is great. Makes it really, really ergonomic in the hand, which I think he is putting more emphasis on not feeling the pocket clip when it's in hand than he is making the pocket clip really functional and super easy to get in and out of the pocket. So all the pocket clips work. I'm not trying to say that you can't carry them. I certainly carry these knives all the time. Not this particular one because this is not mine, but I did put this in my pocket, and it's about what I expected. You can get it in the pocket. It carries beautifully once it's in there. It's relatively thin in this dimension here. And just to give you, let's see here. Just to give you an idea, here's a Spyderco Manix 2. So you can see here what we're talking about. I mean, big, big difference, even though this is nearly a 4-inch blade. So, show this off. Yeah. Look at the difference in length there between the Manix 2 and the TS-89. So we're not talking about small knives, which is why I really enjoy these knives, because, I consider these to be man-sized knives. And because I have man hands, these knives fit perfect in my man hands. So anyway, Wong TS-89, beautiful knife. This S90V version, I'm pretty sure just comes in raw titanium. I think they do make it in D2 with black coated titanium scales. However, this purple and gold is beautiful. It looks fantastic. And TwoSun knives, all the raw titanium ones, just lend themselves extremely well to doing some custom anno work. So, you can get a hold of someone to do some anno work for you. So so far we got the 81, we have the 89. This here is also same guy. This is his knife, and this here is the Tucson TS107. And this is also another one that I had never handled before. And again, absolutely gorgeous in hand. Just is so ergonomic, so comfortable. It's perfect. The ergonomics on all of these full-size knives are just beautiful. If you have a larger hand, you should have 5 of these things because they're just amazing and they're cheap. So I don't know, I can't remember what this guy here goes for. Like I said, I'll put links up in the description for all the ones that I can find that aren't on auction sites and stuff. If I didn't go over it before, the best places to buy these knives is either on eBay. I do know that a lot of people buy them from like AliExpress and places like that. I know a lot of people aren't super comfortable giving their credit card info on those sites. So me personally, most of it's eBay, but again, they do sell a lot. Most of these models are now being sold on Amazon, which is certainly a more trusted retailer that people are comfortable with. So all the links that I provide will be Amazon affiliate links. However, you can also get these knives from White Mountain Knives. White Mountain is a knife retailer here in the States, and they are in the Northeast. I can't remember where they're at exactly, but if you do go over there, you can see all the TwoSun models. They don't have everything in stock, but they do have a lot of them. They're certainly a really well-respected retailer. I've purchased knives from them in the past. Justin over there is a really great guy and has a fantastic name. Those that don't know, my name's Justin as well. And anyway, if you do go over there to White Mountain Knives, I'm sure anyone watching my channel, I'm sure knows who LTK is, but he has a code there. I think it gets you like 10% off. So certainly use that code, get some extra money off, and pick up some sweet TwoSuns before the holidays. But anyway, so this here is the Tucson TS107. Again, the titanium and the milling work on this thing is just unbelievable. For the money, it's amazing. This one's D2 blade steel. Of course, all these are frame locks so far anyway. Uh, it's really hard to show off the 3D contouring here, but this whole area is scooped out. It's like a scallop that runs, and it, you know, grows in width and grows in depth. Same thing here. I mean, the 3D contouring on here is just spectacular, and the milling work is just absolutely gorgeous. Uh, Provides really nice, suitable traction for a knife like this. Got this little hole through the flipper tabs, kind of cool looking. And then here, instead of just having the hole on the blade, it's not even a hole, it's a blind hole, or this recessed area. You have a hole that goes all the way through the blade. Again, though, gorgeous looking knife, and just spectacular in the hand. Pocket clip just disappears in the hand. And these knives, whether I'm actually left-handed, so I use them with both hands all the time, and they are just perfect. So again, writing on ceramic bearings, you got hardened steel insert, over travel stop, ceramic detent ball, just really, really, really well done. So that is the Tucson TS107. All right, so this one here's my knife. And this guy right here, or let me rephrase that, this girl right here, this is the Tucson TS124. And this one happens to be another Wong Design, obviously. And blade steel on this young lady here is 12C27. And you can see here we do not have contoured scales. We have flat titanium, but you do have this really nice chamfered edge that runs all the way around, making this thing beautiful in the hand. Again, just absolutely gorgeous to carry. And the pocket clip slightly better on this one as far as in the pocket. Still, the ramp getting in isn't great. I mean, it's, you know, it carries well. You just, depending on the pants, if you got like a thick hem or edge on your pocket, it's a little difficult to get on there sometimes. But again, like I said, not terrible. However, here's the show side. So you can see here that little contours there that fit the hand perfect. And then you got this little, I call it the Hooter hump. You got the little Hooter hump right there that works perfect for a thumb placement. You know, really well. This thing just fits the hand spectacular. You got this kind of sheep's foot style blade. Just a really, really nice, usable design. And it's cheap. You know, you can buy these. I don't remember what the prices are on all these guys. They're changing all the time. But it definitely, you can pick this thing up for under $50. And it's a blank canvas for Anno. You could do whatever you want with this. They also make it without the young lady on the front there. So, you know, you can get it, and I think it just has like some milled lines on it that all run diagonally, if I remember right. And the scales are kind of contoured on the one that doesn't have the young lady. But anyway, this is Tucson TS124 with the Hooter hump. All right. So next knife is one of my all-time favorites. This here is the Tucson TS127. I have this knife in multiple different variations. This one here happens to be the original, not the original variation, but the original colorway and original construction. So the original one looks identical to this, and it's in 12C27, which I do have that model. This one here is in S90V. There you can see. You can also see the little divot right there. This knife got sent to Kurt over at JCool19. If you haven't checked out his videos, if you're interested at all about HRC and Rockwell hardness and those kinds of things, go over there and check out his videos. He's got an actual legitimate real deal Rockwell machine at his home, and he's been doing a whole bunch of testing for several different knife enthusiasts, if you will. And I sent him a batch of knives, I don't know, a month and a half ago, something like that. This was one of them. And so this here's the S90V, Tucson TS127. And yeah, you can check it out there. I think the video that has all my knives, I think he just called it Justin's Knives or something like that. But it was about a month and a half ago, something like that. Anyway, beautiful in the hand, absolutely stellar. Love this knife. The construction on this thing is so well done. Again, the pocket clip could be a little better, but other than the pocket clip, this knife is hitting all the right buttons for me. Love the blade shape, flat ground, really slicey, really nice, thin behind the edge. You know, almost 4-inch blade. The carbon on it's absolutely beautiful. You can see it really catches the light well, and just really nice quality carbon. You know, of course, no voids, nothing like that. Centering, centering on all these guys is perfect. I don't, if, like I said, if you're not familiar with Tucson, you need to get familiar because they're really spectacular knives. You can see here, these are titanium liners, and they're full titanium liners, but you can see the 2 screws there. This has a hardened steel insert, over travel stop. Even though this thing dies out into the scale, it still has an over travel stop built into it, as well as ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball. They run washers on either side, and they've got a milled track where the ceramic balls ride. They're surface ground. I mean, just really, really well done. And yeah, for anyone that just, I can't stress enough, if you've never handled one of these knives, you really need to do so, because I mean, I've handled some really, really high-end stuff. I have some high-end stuff, $500+ knives. At least to me, that's high-end for a pocket knife. And honestly, these guys, pretty much across the board, all the TwoSun knives feel every bit as quality. And yeah, fit and finish is always spectacular. And I'm not going to get into any pissing matches saying, somebody says this or that or the other thing. I love all the knives. I'm just trying to, if you have never experienced one of these, I'm pretty sure, I haven't met anyone yet that isn't shocked by the quality of these knives and what you pay for them. So anyway, S90V TS127, gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Actually, let me set this guy over here. All right, now we're into one that doesn't really fit my hands. So this here is a Wong Design, and this is the TS160. As you can see, obviously a slip joint. You do have premium materials here as well as premium construction, but certainly a weird ass design. So this guy is rocking M390 blade steel. It's crazy thin, slicey behind the edge. It's actually more comfortable than it looks. So you have this little guy right here. Blade length on this guy is just under 3 inches. It's like 2.97 inches or something. So they're trying to hit some legal requirements here. So you've got a non-locking blade. You got just under 3-inch blade stock. So, over in Europe and whatnot, they've got a lot of laws and a lot of dumb laws. But anyway, so you've got this guy here that pushes tension down on the lock bar. You can cam it over and push it all the way down. But, even things like this right here, this little piece, you can see that it has phosphor bronze washers on either side. They're tiny, tiny little washers. I did a full disassembly on this knife, so if you want to check that out. Actually, most all of these have full disassemblies and reviews on them. So if you want to go back in my videos and find one, you can check them out. I disassemble pretty much everything that I do and show off, how they're constructed and that sort of thing. So this is it's an interesting little knife, to say the least. Definitely a goofy design, but a little more comfortable than you would think. This little thumb ramp, using it like this as a thumb ramp works pretty well. And yeah, it's interesting and weird, and that's kind of why I was drawn to it. So, of course, it's got the half stop and all that good stuff. So anyway, the TS160, goofy little slip joint. All right, next knife, TS162, stellar knife. I've actually modded this one slightly, so you can see the carbon fiber again, picks up the light. It's beautiful. Nice gear pattern, titanium backspacer. You've got, titanium bolsters, and then these carbon fiber, overlay, inlay, whatever you want to call it. Uh, of course, I didn't talk about this on the 127, but this blade hole here, you can for finger flick. Of course, you can use the flipper tab, and you can also thumb flick it. But action on all these guys, absolutely perfect. You know, just absolutely stellar. So anyway, TS162, great knife, crazy ergonomic. Just when I thought, like, with the 127, I was like, man, it doesn't get any better than this. Man, the 162 I think's better. This little area that comes down, just it's not as thick in this dimension here. This thing's like, I think, like somewhere around 0.58, something like that, where the 127 is like 7/10 of an inch thick. But this one is taller in this dimension, where the 127 kind of cuts out and, is an arch. You can see the difference there in handles. Similar size and shape and all that stuff, but different contouring. And man, is this thing just beautiful in the hand. So this blade used to kind of be like a leaf shape. It kind of had a bulbous area that humped up here, and I took it off. So I wanted something that looked a little more aggressive, and that's what I got. So I realized some people may like it better, some people may like it less. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. That's what makes the world go round. Everybody, different strokes for different folks. So I personally like it, and that's all that matters, because it's my knife. So feel free to do what you will with your knives. Anyway, so TS162, absolutely stellar knife. Another stellar knife. Oh, if I didn't say, this one, 12C27 blade steel. All right. Wong Design Tucson TS165. Another just absolutely stellar knife that is so ergonomic. It's just beautiful. If you have larger hands, I cannot stress this enough. If you have larger hands, you owe it to yourself to try out a Wong Design Tucson. So this knife here, I think this one, if I remember right, yeah, 12C27 on this guy as well. I like Sandvik steel, so a lot of these you can get in different steels. But for a nice budget option, 12C27 and 14C28N are just great budget steels. You can get this guy right here, the 127. You can get it in a whole bunch of different blade steels. I actually have a cut test video up that I have 3 different models of this exact knife, and I put them up against each other, and yeah, they're all 3 in different blade steels. So you can go back in my history and check that out. Maybe 6 months ago, something like that. However, we're talking about the 165. Beautiful knife. Really, really beautiful machine work. You got these holes down the center, and you got this little lanyard area, which I like the way that they did the lanyard area on this. I'm not a fan of lanyards. I don't put lanyards on anything. However, if you want it, it's there. If I don't want it, this doesn't bother me at all. So, yeah, not a big deal. You can see really extensive internal milling. Again, I have a full review up of this knife. You can check it out, but it's really light for its size. All these guys, with the exception of the slip joint, all of these knives are full-size knives. So, all of them are going to be over 3.5-inch blade, and, most of them are going to be in the 8.5 to 9-inch range for total length. So, anyway, or I should say maybe 8.25 to 9-inch, something like that. So TS165, again, you got a blank canvas here to do anything you want with for customization. Stasa 23, Nick over there, he does some beautiful anno work. I know he's doing it for customers. I'm not sure what he charges, but man, he calls the finish the like lightning strike finish, which is just beautiful. He calls it Stasified, and he should just call it badass, because that's really what it is. It looks really sweet. But, you know, hit him up. I mean, you can buy a knife like this right here for, you know, I don't know, $50 maybe, something like that. And, you know, don't cuss me out if I didn't get the price just right. I got so many damn knives, but well under $100 you're going to pay for all of these that you see here, with the exception of this guy right here. I think this one's still pretty high in demand, and potentially the 162. That one's gotten pretty popular as well, depending on blade steel. You know, there you can pay over $100 for several different Tucsons, but you know, you're not paying $300 or $400 or $500 like Spyderco or, you know, whatnot. Anyway, so you're getting this for, you know, let's just call it $50, and let's just say you spent another 50 or $60 or whatever. I don't know. I don't even want to guess what Nick is charging to get the ano done. I can't imagine that it's out of line. Whatever it is, I'm sure he's being reasonable about it. But they're beautiful, beautiful ano jobs, and no one else is going to have anything like it. And these are just a blank canvas. You know, you can do what you want with it. So if you're not familiar with Stasa 23, go check him out and check out the ano work that he's been doing. Just a really, really good guy. And I've never met him in person, but seems like a really great guy. And, you know, quite some time ago, I watched a video where his kids, and I think I may be wrong on this, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was maybe even a stepdaughter that was talking about how much she really loved Nick and how great of a guy he was, and that says a lot. So that's pretty awesome. Kids are generally very, very honest, and yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, and until I find out something else, he seems like a great guy. So check him out. Buy one of these guys and get it customized. Make it your own. You can do things like, you know, whatever. Cut the blade off and change the shape, you know, whatever. Change the color. So anyway, TwoSun TS165, fantastic knife. When I first got this, I was thinking this top portion, you know, it looks so strange having those same choil areas on the top of the backside of the knife. You don't even feel them in hand. I really thought this was going to be uncomfortable. It's not at all. You can't even feel it. So they're important where they need to be, and they're just for aesthetic value up here. Like I said, you don't even know they're there. And then you have these options, you know, you can go up here for a draw cut, whatever. So just really nicely done. Fantastic knife. TwoSun TS165. So I'm going to move some. I got one more. Sorry, this video is taking a little longer than I was wanting or expecting, but I kept the best one for last. So this is one of the newest Wong Design knives, at least that I'm familiar with anyway. And it's this guy right here. This is an absolutely gorgeous knife. It is stellar in every single way. Now, this here is one of my viewers' knives. Same guy that owns the 89 and the 107. And he did the ano work on this. So he did the pocket clip and the backspacer. These originally would have come just raw titanium. However, this is about as full carbon as carbon gets. You can see in here, you've got literally, you just have the liner lock bar on that side. And then this isn't my knife, so I did not disassemble it. But I've seen some internal shots of this guy, and you've got like just a small area over here with the, you know, so your bearings riding on stainless. But the lock bar is titanium, as well as it has an insert. So it's kind of hard to see down in there. But just an absolutely gorgeous knife. The thumb studs are really there for there's an internal stop pin you can see right here, but then this is also the external stop pin. You can use them as thumb studs, and it certainly rockets open, but they are like stop pins. So like I said, you can see the internal stop pin right there, and then these are external, so that gives a lot of lateral support to the blade. This thing locks up just rock solid. Quality is stellar. Lock up there is, you know, 100% of the liner, so like, you know, 50% of the blade, but just super well done. beautiful knife, and for its size, it is really light. It's right at the ounce and inch mark. You're looking at a 3.5-inch blade, and this sweet knife is rocking M390. So this is, this knife right here, if it was coming from Spyderco, Benchmade, We, any of the Chinese manufacturers, We, Bestech, Kaiser, Riot, yeah, whatever. There's tons of them. If this knife was coming from any one of those companies, this would be a $300 or $400 knife. And you can pick this guy up with M390, full carbon fiber. Again, the carbon is just absolutely stellar. No voids. I'd put it up against any other full carbon knife that I've ever seen. I mean, I have the Spyderco Drunken, and this thing's every bit as nice. And that's I think this Drunken's, 435, something like that. You can pick this guy up for under $200. Significantly under 200. I think they're floating around like the 130 to 150 range, something like that. So, really, really stellar knife for the money. Tucson TS182. Now, the pocket clip on this one is better than a lot of the other ones. Easier to get in and out of the pocket. It's a completely different design. It is contoured, but just melts in the hand. Super comfortable. I really like this little kind of notch on the back of the blade. Just gorgeous. Really, really well done. So anyway, that's the video. I went way longer than I expected or wanted to. So there we go, guys. This is the Wong Den Xin TwoSun collection as of right now, with the few that a viewer sent in for me to take a look at. I really appreciate it. I can't say enough how much I appreciate viewers doing stuff like that. It gives me an opportunity to check out and handle things that I otherwise wouldn't get a chance to. So that's really fantastic. Check out the links below. Hit subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. And you cannot go wrong with any of these knives on the table. I know this one's really weird and goofy, but yeah, it's also made with really high-end materials and weird in a strange, cool way. So, anyway, the rest of them, stamp it, 100%. They're OCD certified. They're all beautiful. If you got larger hands, you're going to love every one of these knives. And they are all well built and fantastic to handle. So, anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you next time. Have a great one. Bye.